the Radio Forest Podcast.
Tommy Bouy from Yächtley Crëw. How are you?
What's been going on?
We're just on tour. We're touring through the Midwest right now. I'm up in Green Bay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, is it the Seize the Night tour, right? That's kicked off.
Yeah, the Season Night tour, and we're, going across the whole world at this point. We're heading to Australia next week and playing all the soft rock hits, 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
all the bands you loved from back then.
Yeah, I saw that. That's the first time in Australia, right? That's got to be exciting.
Totally. I've never been down there, and I don't think most of us in the band have ever been down there, so we're excited to bring Yacht Rock to the Southern Hemisphere,
Am I being stupid, though, and assuming that Yacht Rock in Australia would be perfect, or am I just thinking of, more of a happy attitude of Australians and the beach and the sun? I feel like Yacht Rock in Australia would be amazing.
No, I agree with you. And there's a couple, of Yacht Rock acts. I know the Little River Band is from Australia. The Bee Gees are kind of from Australia. A lot of those soft rock bands, I think they have a history of it down there. And just like you said, they have a beach vibe to all of Australia that I'm excited to check out. So, I think they're going to enjoy it.
So how much is the set list evolving on this tour? Do you have everything pretty dialed in? And I guess the main point of my question is, I know you guys have done some other songs like Hotel California, not necessarily in the Yacht Rock archive,
right,
but kind of work. So is there anything else like that you slide in that's not typically known as like a Yacht Rock song, but with you guys and your energy and your stage presence, it kind of works?
Right. Yeah, look, I always say we let the fans tell us what they want to hear, and so we'll try stuff out. And recently we've added Don't Bring Me Down by Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
And our drummer sings that, and it goes over really well. It's a fun live song. So, sometimes we'll throw in some Yacht Rock adjacent songs like that. But, we try to still stick to giving the people what they came for,
But I think Yacht Rock is kind of tricky because it's not super well defined. It's kind of like an era, but also because like an era, it's kind of like the 70s and 80s. But Kokomo is definitely a Yacht Rock song, but that's out of that era. So I think you can get away with more. Like if you don't dip into Slayer, I think you're fine because you know what I mean? Even some 90s songs in the right styling, you'd be like, oh, this is great as a Yacht Rock song, where it feels the same.
I kind of count Regulate as a Yacht Rock song, and that's a 90s hip hop song too. So,
oh yeah, you could do
it. Samples Michael McDonald. So it's really tricky because it's like some people are very opinionated about what is and what isn't Yacht Rock, and we kind of take a more laid-back approach, and we're like, if it feels like Yacht Rock, if it has a beach vibe to it, if it's fun to do live, if it's from that time, or maybe even a degree of separation from that thing. Like you said, we do Hotel California as an encore sometimes, and it's like, okay, Eagles aren't directly Yacht Rock, but I would say
Don Henley might be, though. He's probably got some Yacht Rock stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. It's kind of just like it's kind of adjacent. So the reality is, if people come out to see our show, they're going to hear songs that they love from that era,
So I've seen a lot of those AI pictures online of people building like a Mount Rushmore of like white rappers or classic rock guitarists. So if you had to pick 4 artists that you feel like define Yacht Rock,
I would definitely say Kenny Loggins has to be there. I would say Christopher Cross. I would say Michael McDonald. And for the 4th, you might not like it, but I'll say Donald Fagen from Steely Dan. I don't know if you saw the HBO documentary that we were just in, but he's not a fan of the term Yacht Rock, but he's kind of given the crown of being the person that kind of started the genre, So I'll have to put him on there because he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I haven't seen the documentary, but tell me a little bit about it.
It's just a 90-minute HBO doc. They came and filmed at one of our shows in Orange County, California. So there's a lot of footage of us playing live and references to us and that kind of thing. And then they just kind of, they do a great job of the history of Yacht Rock. Again, they kind of say like, it all starts with Steely Dan, and then all these other bands are kind of influenced by that jazz rock fusion that Steely Dan brought. And that's kind of what Yacht Rock really is. It's kind of, taking a lot of jazz chords and jazz sensibilities and mixing it with a pop rock vibe.
And with you guys now being on the map, clearly with the documentary, and you've been at this for a couple of years, I know there's several other rock bands and artists and musicians and actors and celebrities that are aware of you. So how about on-stage performances and guest appearances? Who's hopped up with you guys?
Oh, man. Well, it's funny because we just ran into Elliot Lurie from Looking Glass at the airport the other day. He's been up on stage with us to sing Brandy. Peter Beckett from Player came up and sang his song "Baby Come Back" with us. Then we've had some non-Yacht Rock people, like we were in Vegas and Sebastian Bach from Skid Row was at our show. And so he was literally just at the show, and we're on stage, and we're like, there's Sebastian Bach. And then we had one of our guys go over and be like, do you want to come up and play a song? So he looked at the set list, and he saw Hotel California, and he's like, I'll come up and do that. So he came up and sang Hotel California with us. And honestly, he sounds so good still. Like he's still amazing. He nailed it, you know. And so it was really, I was impressed by that. Like, wow, you just know this random song, you know all the lyrics to this random song and get up on stage and do it in front of hundreds of people. Like, yeah, that's why he's a pro.
And I did see that Dave Grohl at least is aware of you guys. I've seen him shout you out once. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a dream come true. I mean, he's on top of the mountain, and you know, we all rock and rollers love Dave Grohl. So that was super cool to get a shout out from him, and I would love to get him on stage. I know they've covered Baker Street before, so that's kind of like we need to get that out in the universe, manifest that, get Dave Grohl up on stage to sing Baker Street with us.
He would be great in your band. Did you ever listen to, I think it came out for Record Store Day a few years ago, but it was that Dave... It was the ABBA cover. Was it ABBA, right? Wasn't it? They do a whole set of ABBA, yeah.
They did Bee Gees.
Oh, Bee Gees.
That might have been an ABBA.
No, it was Bee Gees. You're right, not ABBA. It was Bee Gees. Yeah, you're right.
That was awesome. That's the thing. He's just a music fan, you know, and he's like, you know, he's got the rock and roll persona, but like at the end of the day, he just loves music, and that's kind of where we're at too, you know. And you have to like Yacht Rock because it's so many different genres in one, you know.
Now, what about the band Yächtley Crëw? Are they, at this point, they got to be aware of the name, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's been Tommy Lee posted a picture of him wearing a Yächtley Crëw shirt on his Instagram a couple years ago. So I think he's in on it and he's approving. We haven't really come across them in our travels yet. So hopefully, again, that'll be another funny thing just because of our name. Maybe we'd have to do a Yacht Rock version of a Yächtley Crëw song though, you know.
I'm trying to think what would work. Maybe Home Sweet Home, but that's more of a soft song.
Yeah, or Girls.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Now, I've talked to Philly Ocean a couple of times, Yächtley Crëw's lead singer, and oftentimes him and I went up talking about tattoos. I know you have a couple as well. For one, I know is a palm tree. Can you tell me about that? And can you tell me about some of the other tattoos you've got?
I've never been asked about my tattoos. This is cool. Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of, they're addictive, as everybody says. I do have my Yächtley Crëw tattoo as well on my wrist. I'm looking at it right now. It's an anchor that says YC. But my palm tree one, I don't know. I've just always loved the beach and loved the lifestyle of the beach and taking it easy. And it fits my laid back personality. So I just felt like a palm tree would be cool right on my forearm. And so there it is. And I don't think about it too much. They become a part of you, you know, the tattoos. Yeah, I also have a spaceman holding a guitar. That's my way of kind of saying I'm going as far as I can with the music thing, you know. And I have a cassette tape on my chest, actually, because right on my heart, because I'm an 80s baby that loves music. So,
can I ask you what the first cassette you ever bought was? Because you mentioned Sebastian Bach, and I interviewed Skid Row, I don't know, a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. The Youth Gone Wild was the first cassette I had bought. What was yours?
It was Michael Jackson's Dangerous. I didn't really discover rock and roll till I was 10, which was 1993. So I probably bought Dangerous when it came out in, 91? When I first heard Nirvana, probably in 92 was the first time I heard them. And then I was like, you know, hooked on rock and roll after that. So,
you know, I was trying to explain it to somebody. I feel like people that were alive when Nirvana came out, like I'm saying, like the album was already out. It's kind of like me with the Beatles. People are like, hey, the Beatles are so awesome. I'm like, it's overrated. I didn't get to the Beatles till later because for me, it was like Nirvana, but I was aware of rock at the time. So it was like Warrant and Trickster or, you know, Poison and Van Halen. So it was like Spandex and Split Kicks. And then Nirvana, I was like, wait, what is this? Are you allowed to do this?
They changed the game for sure.
Yeah, wasn't it such a huge shift? Like it was like an atomic bomb went off and all those bands were dead overnight.
I have a vivid memory of being in my friend's house. And he put on Nevermind, and he was like, you know, we were 10, so he's like, we got a slam dance to this. That was the term at the time, right? We got a slam dance. So it was like he cranked up Smells Like Teen Spirit, and we're jumping around his living room, jumping into each other. And it's just like from that moment on, I was like, this is amazing. It was like that's how I got hooked on rock and roll.
I feel bad for people that were, you know, didn't get to experience that shift because it was so dangerous and scary and fun. Wearing the stuff they wore to work her to the bar. It wasn't a plan. It was more of they're like, it doesn't matter what we wear. And I was like, wow.
Right.
No pyro,
Yeah,
no
it
lipstick.
felt more authentic, you know. It was the opposite of wearing lipstick and big hair, you know. Probably needed at the time, with all due respect to the lipstick and big hair man.
I still love some David Lee Roth. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Diamond Dave. Who doesn't?
Tell me about 311. Didn't you recently record at Hype Studio?
I did. This is awesome. I did, yeah. You know, I'm recording kind of my own stuff, and I just went to. I'm friends with Nick Hexum, the lead singer of 311, because I'm a fan of theirs, and he's just such a cool guy. And I played on. I'm 6'5", so I play basketball. So I played on his rec league basketball team. This is Los Angeles for you, you know. You join a rec league team, and you're on Nick Hexum's team or whatever. So we become friends, and I'm just a huge fan of 311 as well, because they're another band that mixes styles, and they have a beach vibe to them. You know, you don't think they're not a yacht rock band, but they definitely have a beach vibe to a lot of their songs. Solo recordings, we kind of write my own stuff for fun on the side, you know, but, you know, Yächtley Crëw is still my main thing.
Am I mistaken? Is Nick in better shape now than in the last 10 years?
He's such a focused individual, writing songs, and obviously his family, working out, and he's just, you know, super into that and super into, you know, the dieting and the nutrition side of things and getting his body to do it. My body doesn't look like that, so you know, maybe I should take some tips from him. But you know, I try to be active, play basketball, go for runs here and there. He's a super impressive dude and kind of a hero of mine from a songwriting perspective. Happy to be his friend.
Back to the tattoos real quick. You had mentioned that you've got the Yächtley, a Yächtley Crëw tattoo in your wrist. Now, I can't remember, does everybody in the band have one, or is it the wives of the band, or is it kind of a combination of both?
All of the wives have flamingos. Most of us have either the anchor or the logo. We call him the dude, our logo, which is just it's like a skull and crossbones, but with a guy with a mustache and a captain's hat. I have the anchor. Philly has the anchor, Paul has an anchor, and I think Rob and Chaz have the dude. No, wait, Chaz has an anchor as well.
But now that you're married, is your wife going to get a Yächtley Crëw tattoo?
She's not a tattoo person, so I don't think so. I don't think she loves needles either, so it's probably not going to happen. But I'll give her, she likes to wear the shirts to the show, so. But
you're recently married, right? And that was kind of beach-themed, right? Tell me about that. Congratulations.
Thank you, yeah. My wife's from England and got married back in October 8th, and it was a beautiful, very small ceremony for about 5 people. Wow. And that's just the way we wanted to do it. Like, just do it, get it done with, and but it was really beautiful. And actually, Pauly Shores was our, I guess you call it a minister?
Yeah, he officiated it, yeah.
He's the one that officiated, there we go. He's the one that officiated it, and he married us. So, he's one of my best friends. So it was really cool.
Now, if you only have 5 people there, and one of the other guys is in Yächtley Crëw, are the rest of the guys like, dude, what the F? How come I'm not invited? You're like, well, you play the keyboard, so.
No, it was my sister and her husband, and then Pauly Shores, and then us too. Because we were like, as soon as we invite one other person, then it's going to be, oh, well, why didn't we invite this person? And then the list grows to 200 people. You know what I mean? So we just wanted to do a private thing on the beach. It was beautiful, though, and I'm really lucky, and I really love my wife, obviously.
Awesome. So it's Yächtley Crëw, Seize the Night Tour has kicked off July 5th, Knitting Factory here in Boise. Australia later this year. What's the name of the documentary you mentioned?
It's on HBO Max, or whatever it's called. I think it's called Max now, the HBO streaming service, and it's called Yacht Rock, a documentary, like DOCK. Everybody should check it out because you'll see some Yächtley Crëw and learn a little bit about yacht rock in the process.
The band also has their own EP with their Sex on the Beach, their original song, plus some Christmas music that came out last year. It's guitarist Tommy Bouy from Yächtley Crëw. Hey, we'll see you July 5th at the Knitting Factory here in Boise.
Knitting Factory, we're really excited to get to Boise for the first time. So come on out.
All right, thanks, Tommy.